Welcome back. Today we're diving into our source material on a pretty difficult topic. What happens when trust breaks down in elder care? We're looking specifically at accountability in residential care facilities for the elderly or RCFEs. You know, when families choose one of these places, they expect compassionate, attentive care. That's the baseline. But the sources we have today detail a recent case where, well, that trust was just shattered. It led to some serious legal consequences.
That's right. This deep dive really hinges on a specific California case. It involved a 91-year-old resident who experienced severe neglect, and the outcome, a very significant settlement, $725,000. That case was handled by the firm Bedsore.law, and it really highlights the facility's liability.
Okay, so let's unpack the actual failures. What happened? I mean, RCFEs aren't hospitals, right? They're more about assisted living, supervision,
Yeah.
basic safety. But the sources say this 91-year-old man had 3 falls, preventable falls, all within just a few days.
Exactly, preventable. And these weren't minor stumbles, The physical toll was awful. We're talking a displaced, fractured left hip and multiple left-sided rib fractures. I mean, these kinds of injuries point to something much worse than just a slip-up.
A real failure of that basic safety mission.
Precisely. It suggests a serious lapse in ensuring resident safety, which is core to what an RCFE is supposed to provide.
And then there's the communication breakdown, which is just staggering. The sources state the staff didn't notify his caregiver or his personal representative about any of the faults.
None of them. They were kept completely out of the loop while he was clearly in distress.
Kept in the dark.
Yeah.
And how he was eventually found just underscores the neglect.
It really does. Found writhing in pain, lying in a soiled diaper. That's when he was finally rushed to the ER. The fact that things got that bad after 3 separate falls without any notification, it's a massive failure of protocol, just basic procedure.
So that $725,000 settlement, what does that figure really signify in this kind of case?
Well, a settlement that large often points beyond simple negligence. It suggests the court, or at least the opposing side, likely recognized gross negligence, implying maybe a systemic problem, not just an isolated mistake, a failure to follow their own safety rules, documentation standards.
Right. And the legal team, Bedsore.law you mentioned, their argument was key here.
Absolutely. They argued that these severe injuries, the hip, the ribs, were entirely avoidable with proper care and attention. They focused squarely on the facility's failure to follow those basic steps, assess the risk after the first fall, notify family, document everything.
So this wasn't just about compensation, but setting a standard.
Exactly. This legal result reinforces accountability. It sends a message that RCFEs can be held responsible when preventative measures fail so badly.
Which brings us to the crucial question for you, listening right now. How do you guard against this? What can families actually do?
Yeah, the source material is quite direct on this. Vigilance is essential. Families need to be watchful. Look for those specific red flags. Any unexplained injuries, bruises, things like that. Poor hygiene is another big one.
Or sudden changes in behavior, mood shifts.
Yes, exactly. Any sudden withdrawal or agitation that doesn't make sense. That active oversight from the family is really critical.
So in this instance, the legal system provided a path to justice.
It did. It emphasized that dignity, basic care, these aren't optional extras. They are fundamental. And when that trust is broken, legal advocacy, like from Bedsore.law in this case, becomes necessary to enforce those standards.
Okay, so here's something to think about. The source material clearly states these injuries, the 3 falls, the broken hip, were preventable. Given that, what realistic checks, maybe staffing standards or even simple notification systems, can actually be implemented today, right now? What could ensure these fundamental failures in basic care and, crucially, in communication just don't happen again? That's the question we'll leave you with.